Hey guys, welcome to another episode of On the Chopping Block Movie Reviews with the Jovial Entertainment crew.
Hey!
Hey, today we're going to be reviewing The Conjuring 2, which is the sequel to the 2013 horror hit, The Conjuring.
Okay.
Very cool.
My name is Bill Wilkins, and I'm 70.
Oh, up, Bill! Come on, we're sick of your ghost shit.
You know how tough it is to record audio up in this place?
You're not a part of this review, you jerk.
Guys, today's a very special episode because we've got
Is it?
you better hum diggly doodly widdly bitty you better wait.
And why is that, Tom?
Because we have got our first appearance of Spider-Man Volume. No, I'm kidding. This is our first review for Connor. Connor is one of our directors on the show, and he writes a bunch of scripts. He shoots a lot of our skits, and he's passionate about movies like us. So he's come today to help review The Conjuring with us.
Hello everyone.
So welcome.
He's just a great guy in general, really.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Blush him.
He lives out in the country. So guys, The Conjuring 2 is directed by James Wan and stars Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, who returned from the first movie.
Yes.
And also has a bit of an ensemble cast here as well, a various range of different characters. And holy sweet bejeez balls, this movie was frightening. I found it immensely frightening. I was
tense.
I was having anxiety attacks through this whole movie. I was literally had hair standing up, goosebumps. I had the whole 9 yards. I was just like, I knew what I was getting into because I really liked the first movie.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
One of my favourite horror films of all time, probably.
Yeah, and I was a bit worried when they were going to do a sequel because I don't know whether they were going to be able to match like the tension that they managed to pull off and the style, and just because I thought it was really well done, and I think they just if not was just as good or even better than the first movie. I figured. What do you guys think?
I would agree with that. I'd totally say that this movie is on par with the first one. It's definitely right up there.
Yeah. And I think the first movie was restricted to that one house, which was kind of nice, but in this movie I felt like it was a bit more broader. There was more scenes that took place outside the house, and there was more characters instead of just having the family. They had the police was a brilliant one at the start as well. When the police were there and like other family members because they go to another house and it kind of follows them around and stuff. But more, it felt like there was more global scale on this one as far as like the attention that the case or the circumstances that were happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bigger movie in that way as well.
The Conjuring 2, what's the movie about? We return with Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're back for this movie. They're going into London this time.
Yeah.
Heading overseas, getting out of America. There is the Hodgson's family. The young daughter who's been possessed by someone. We don't know who. They're over there to investigate, and that's the setup.
Yeah. And so much like the first movie, a family is just getting terrorized by this entity or ghost. And it's Ed and Lorraine are there to try to figure out why and who's behind it, and just the movie flips around a lot and kind of teases you, and there's a few twists and turns in there. It's got some good little.
And there's a strong focus on this. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but on the fact that this could be a hoax. There's a lot of different scenes that kind of mention and sort of talk about whether this one and other cases that they've worked on and other cases in general that could be a hoax.
Yeah.
And they're there to either figure that out or.
And there's some terrific acting all around. Like the little girl, what's her name? Janet. Yeah, she was tremendous. She honestly carried this film, I think, hugely. And she was the one that was kind of getting possessed and having things, things happen to her. That's where all the frights are kind of based around her. And I thought she did a terrific job.
Yeah, I thought that was a strong point in The Conjuring 1 as well. Like the child actors in that one, I thought
they played them so well.
Whoever does the casting for these movies is
amazing.
solid.
Yeah, they nailed it.
Yeah. And even Vera Farmiga, I'm a huge fan because I love her in Bates Motel TV series. She's amazing, and all the other films she's done is great. Patrick Wilson again, just amazing as Ed Warren, just smashes it.
That was one of the things that I really enjoyed about this movie, though, was I was worried that was going into it was that it was just going to be Hollywood doing one of its typical terrible sequels. So they're just like, we've done something really good, so we'll just rehash it slightly, but essentially just re-release the same movie. But this movie totally feels like an independent movie. You don't need to have seen the first one to see this.
No. Yeah. It does. It's like in the first movie as well. It gives you a little blurb explanation in the first scene, after the first scene of the movie, and they explain who Ed and Lorraine are, what they do.
I thought the relationship between them took more center stage in this movie too.
Totally.
It was a lot less about the family.
I love when he starts whipping out the guitar and he starts singing Elvis.
Yeah, that's great.
That was so good. And he's a good singer. He's got a good voice on him.
He's pretty good.
I was about to find out where he lives. You know what I'm saying? A peace single.
Sing me a lullaby.
Yeah. He was good. And their relationship, Ed and Lorraine's relationship, definitely takes more of a, kind of saying, center stage. Because again, their family is brought back into this movie as well, with the daughter and stuff. So their family's at risk as well as the other family.
Yeah, that'd be.
Oh, I love there's a shot in the movie where they're at Ed and Lorraine's place, and the daughter's kind of freaking out, and she's in the hallway, and she's looking at something, and she's like freaking out. She's like kind of scared, and then her mum rocks up. She's like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "Mum, do you see that?" And she turns and you expect to see nothing, but no shit. There's a person there, and I'm just like, in the cinema I was like, oh shit, and my head was vibrating, and I was just like, oh, and the bit in the office with the shadow on the wall going to the painting.
Oh my god, the office scene was so.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Oh my god,
that was possibly my favorite scene from a horror film that I've seen. It was amazing. That whole thing with the shadow and the painting.
Oh my god.
Like when she's
walking
towards it, and you're just like.
Oh yeah, because the way they did it was like, it's like literally a painting, but it looked so freaking real.
Yeah, just with the lighting in that room. Oh man.
And then it's just like, the reason why this movie works so well as a horror and as like a thriller and as like a scary movie is that just technically the movie just excels. Like you've got from the camera work, which is just phenomenal. Like some beautiful,
amazing.
Yeah, color palette, sound design. I always think in horror movies are a big hit.
Yeah.
Like if you can the reason why I love Insidious and The Conjuring and all these kind of movies, that sound design is beautiful, and it's not. They don't rely on jump scares. It's this build up and tension, and then something reveals, but it's not always a jump scare. Like The Conjuring had a beautiful bit where one of the scariest bits was like, but the clap was good, but like the bit where she's outside on the pier and she's kind of having these visions, and then he kind of like, "Are you alright?" And then you hear this like, and then just the feet, and it's not a jump scare, but it's so freaking scary. And that's what this movie does so well, is it uses like the sound design and the cinematography to sell the scares, and not necessarily use cheap editing techniques like fast jump cut and jump scares to scare people. And James Wan direction, man, the dude's just getting so much better.
He kills it with horrors though. He really
does. Just does. I don't know how he does it, man. It's he's so good. And with that beautiful coupling of direction, cinematography, editing, and sound design, it's just like every movie, you've got everything good like that, but it just works so much well in a horror.
Yeah, and there is a shot early on in the film that is just like or at least seemingly one continuous shot where it follows all the characters in the house.
Yeah, they did the same in the first Conjuring.
Yeah, they did the same. Same sort of thing, but it looks so nice though.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a, and yet obviously there was something. It was early on in the film, so it was still like not getting to the scary parts yet, but there was something uneasy about that whole the way the camera was moving and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I felt it anyway. Like there was just something tense about it, even though it wasn't a scary scene at all.
Yeah.
It was just them walking around the house.
Yeah, I have heard people complain, especially about in the first Conjuring movies. You're saying like, what was the point of that long take? Because it's just them in the house.
Yeah.
But I would argue that it's really important. It's actually like that spatial awareness, knowing, because like especially in the first Conjuring movie, like when you hear like the bells on the doors, knowing where that door is, it sets you up so that you know where everyone is and you know where people aren't, and you know where noises aren't meant to be coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things that I actually really liked, and you sort of touched on it earlier, Tom, was when you talking about how when we come into that hallway scene and you're expecting to see nothing, and then there's just a person, like just a full-on person standing there staring.
Plays with your emotions and kind of flips what you expect to happen.
Yeah, and that's
expectation versus reality things.
One of the things that James Wan does that I didn't realize that I wanted was like, he's everything I never knew I wanted, but no, something that he does.
Get a room, bro.
It's like, is not having just like, sort of the non-entity, it's just sort of this invisible force, but like actually having like ghouls, like actual like a dead person like walking around. There's something much more threatening, especially in the scene where he's like in the room with her and they can't get in.
Oh, that's with the crosses on the walls.
Yeah, and it's just like...
Oh, and she's like in the door and his hand just goes right out. I was like,
Yeah, because it's just something fundamentally very upsetting about seeing like a small child in a room with like a hostile old man.
Yeah.
Who is, you know,
yeah,
like,
you don't know anything about. Because, yeah.
Another thing that I sort of really enjoyed about this movie, and I've seen it in something I've enjoyed in other movies like Mama and
Mama, yeah,
Crimson
Mama's
Peak.
good.
I wasn't a big fan of Crimson Peak, but I do like the ghosts in Crimson
Yeah.
Peak.
Right.
And it's something. It's one of the things that I think. I feel like it's one of the last sort of fields of CG that hasn't really been explored. Like we've seen what CG can do. Like we've seen it do everything. Like it's not new anymore. It's like we've seen buildings like explode.
Yeah,
we've seen
yeah.
cities flipped over and everything. So it's just. But I feel like monsters and ghosts are like one of the really like key things that CG can still do like really well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And they did that like but it was a good mix of like within the visual effects size and then the practical.
And still
effects side.
practical.
And it was a good mix.
Because I feel like if it had been all CG, something that takes
Yeah.
away from a horror when you can tell there's no practical effects or makeup or whatever. Like
Overall, just really solid horror film. James Wan has been like just fantastic. I don't think I've seen a horror film of his that I haven't been terrified by.
Yeah.
And this is another one. It's totally worth your money. Go see it. Go get the DVD. It's great. I would give it a solid. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10? Nice. Nice.
Okay.
Settle down.
Yeah, I don't think I have too much more to add either. It's just a fantastic horror film. I also love James Wan, like Insidious's, the first Conjuring, Dead Silence.
Yeah, Chris Gomez did Silence. I've never heard about it until you told me about it.
Right. He's a master.
And make you
of the
poop in your
genre.
pants, that movie too.
Yeah, like I say, maybe just a couple little jokes for me that kind of, but in
easy
saying
attention,
that,
baby, just easy attention.
I'm
Easy
still going to
attention.
give it a 9 out of 10
9 out of 10,
because I
good score.
bloody love it.
Yeah.
So
She's a bloody cracker. Overall, I really love this film as well, guys. Like it was, I mean, I was skeptical going in, but that was lifted much earlier on in the movie when I realized like this film's in good ass hands. I like the characters. It came off very real. Direction was spectacular. James Wan, just smashed it. Like Chris labelled off all the movies. Big fan. Acting, cinematography, all the technical side of the movie was flawless. They actually had a really good team behind them. And same with like the producer studio. Anything was obviously trusting to James to get this movie made. And like what's cool about it is it's semi-low budget. It's not a big budget movie, so you know it's going to get its returns. And it's just a great, and it's flocked. People go to these movies. People love horror movies. And like Connor said, yeah, definitely put your 2 cents in and go see it. If you can see it at the cinema, because it's an atmospheric movie. And like, yeah, depending on which crowd you're with to go see the movie, like you can get some shitty people, but I was
shitty crowd.
Oh no.
It's the worst.
Yeah, and so I mean, it can help when you've got people around you screaming their guts off, and I'm not gonna say I was in the fetal position near the end of the movie, but I was in the fetal position. At the end of the
Definitely
movie. I was having goosebumps, my hairs were raising, and I spent the whole movie like this, and I never left. And then I said to my mum after the movie, I was like, oh, do you have any pills for like anxiety or anything like that? Because like I just knew my heart was just racing at the end. Anyway, you can tell, guys, from the passion that you've seen and enthusiasm for the movie that we've all talked about, definitely recommended. And it's just a good also like to look at the craft anyway. Like I would love to look at it again just to see how they did certain things, because I would love to make something like that one day. It'd be awesome. So I'm gonna give the film an 8.5 out of 10. And I think it's well deserved. I think it's spectacular, and I really think we should go see it.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Should see it.
I just want to thank all of you guys watching for watching our review today of the
Really
Conjuring
appreciate
2.
it.
Really appreciate it. And if you really like this and you want to check out some other stuff we've done, we've got some links. I don't know where they're going to pop up exactly.
They're probably going to pop up right on Jeff's face here.
That's a good place.
Yeah. And check those out. And I'd like to thank Connor for joining us on his first review.
All good.
You did a
Thanks for
spectacular
having me.
job there, man. It was
Have a good
tremendous
time.
having you.
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Do you want to come back?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
not allowed back.
Oh.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah. So thanks again, guys, for watching. Please comment, tell us what you thought, and if there's other horror movies you want us to see, please let us know. That'd be awesome. Take care. Ta-ta.
Bye.